One of the questions I'm always asking myself when I'm thinking of moving to a new city, which I've done quite often, is, well, what's there to do? So I thought that same thing when we first started thinking about moving to the Cleveland area. So today I'm going to talk to you in this video about my top things to do in Cleveland. So stay tuned. Wesley Croft with the Rooted Real Estate Group right here in the Cleveland area. And if this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about working, living, eating, sleeping, playing, and yes, even what to do while you're here in the Cleveland area, then go ahead and tap that subscribe button and hit the little bell so you'll be notified every time I do a video like this. And if you're thinking at any time about moving within Cleveland or relocating to Cleveland, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, however you want to get in touch. We've got your back when moving to the Cleveland area. All right, so you're thinking of moving to the Cleveland area and you really have no idea about things to do other than where to go to work or where to live. Now, if you're wondering about where to live, check out my top 5 Western Cleveland suburbs video, and I'll tell you all about my top 5 places to live on the west side. But if you're thinking about what sorts of things there are to do here, I'll give you a few of them, and stay tuned until the end and I'll give you my personal favorite thing to do here in the Cleveland area. So the first thing that you can do is consider visiting one of the many museums here in the area. Now, not a lot of people know this, but the museum scene here is really amazing. So first, you've got the Cleveland Museum of Art. So this totally free museum boasts over 60,000 works of art from around the world. And with a very large endowment in the triple-digit millions of dollars, it's also one of the wealthiest art museums in the country. Now there's also the Cleveland Museum of Natural History. Now this isn't a free museum with ticket prices around $17 per adult, but it's well worth the time and money to stop by. The museum itself is almost 100 years old, contains over 5 million research species and artifacts, and is known as one of the top 10 natural history museums in the country. And if you happen to have kids, it's even more fun to see some of the things there through their eyes. Now, there are a few more museums to consider, such as the Great Lakes Science Center if you have kids, the Christmas Story House and Museum, or the Museum of Contemporary Art. So there's certainly no shortage of places to visit if museums are your thing. Now, the next place I'd consider visiting in Cleveland is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, even if you're not a fan of that sort of music, the history that you'll find there is truly breathtaking. Every year there's a new class of inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, with this year's class including such greats as Whitney Houston, 9 Inch Nails, and the Doobie Brothers. Now, if you log into their website, you can actually plan your tour ahead of time based around your favorite artists. So you'll see all sorts of cool memorabilia there. You'll see Rick Allen from Def Leppard's drum kit, Stevie Nicks' tambourine. So if that's your thing, and really even if it's not, you should definitely check that place out. All right, next up on the list of things to do in Cleveland is to visit the West Side Market. Now, the West Side Market is over on West 25th Street, and it's Cleveland's oldest publicly owned market. Now, with some open air shopping, as well as a yellow brick market house with an interior concourse, you're sure to find whatever you might be looking for to whip up your favorite dish at home. Now, there's over 100 vendors offering a wide variety of foods. You're looking at fresh meats, seafood, baked goods, dairy products, herbs, so on and so forth. People from all over the world, when they visit, are drawn to the market due to its history and even the spotlight that's been shown on it from television segments on networks like the Travel Channel and the Food Network. So if you're a foodie type and you just love to browse rows upon rows of vendors offering up their savory wares, make sure you stop by the West Side Market. So another place to visit on our tour of things to do in Cleveland is to visit the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo. Now this place is huge, right? It covers 183 acres just south of downtown Cleveland. And with areas such as the Australian Adventure, the African Elephant Crossing, and Waterfowl Lake, there are plenty of things to see and do there. The cool thing is you can also bring in coolers and picnic baskets, so you can always enjoy a picnic lunch while you're checking out some of your favorite animals. They have giraffes and monkeys and elephants and koalas and so much more. And if you really want to dig in deep and learn about wildlife, the zoo's Conservation Education Department has programming that runs year-round for all age groups. And if I'm thinking about somewhere you can visit year-round and always find something to do, one of those places would be Patterson Fruit Farms, and it's on the far eastern side of the Cleveland Metro out in a town called Chesterland. Now, anytime you visit there, you can grab some of their amazing apple cider, maple syrup, donuts and pies that are baked daily, and literally the best apple fritters you'll ever eat. Now, if you need cooking classes, you can check their website for their cooking classes schedule, because they do offer cooking classes. You can consider apple picking in the fall or strawberry picking in the early summer there. And while you're apple picking in the fall, just make sure you stop by their annual Fun Fest so you can take advantage of all the fun things they have to offer, such as a corn crib, a corn maze, a 50-foot double slide, pony rides, pumpkin painting, and so much more. And one of the things that I like the most about Patterson's is its proximity to my personal favorite thing to do in Cleveland. Okay, so my personal favorite thing to do in Cleveland is to visit one of the many parks that are dotted all throughout the Cleveland area, with special emphasis on the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. Yep, that's right. Cleveland has a national park right in its backyard. The park contains almost 33,000 acres and was given national park status back in 2000. It's also visited over 2 million times a year, making it one of the most visited national parks in the whole US. Now, if being outdoors is something you enjoy, the amount of things that you can do within the park is endless. If you've got kids, consider having them become a junior ranger by having them complete a series of events throughout the park that culminate in them taking an oath to protect the park once they're done. Now, if you want to take in as much of the park as possible, but prefer to do that without walking, you can consider a ride on the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad, which will take you all throughout the park for a nominal fee. You can bird watch for the 4-foot tall herons, or fish for steelhead in one of the many rivers and streams. There's an absolute overabundance of things you could potentially do in the national park. And I didn't even talk about the Cleveland Metro Park system, which boasts 18 reservations, over 100 hiking trails, 8 lakefront parks, and 5 nature centers spread out over 23,000 acres throughout the Cleveland area. So suffice it to say, there's no shortage of hiking, mountain biking, or otherwise throughout the area. So I hope this helps as you're considering a move to the Cleveland area. And as always, if you're into videos like this and want to know more about what it's like to live, work, eat, sleep, or play in the Cleveland area, hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell so you'll be notified every time I do a video like this. And if you're thinking about moving to the Cleveland area or moving within the Cleveland area, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. However you want to get in touch, we've got your back when moving to the Cleveland area. Take care.